Hello and welcome back to another episode. Today I just simply have to share with you just how much I am loving Elder Scrolls V Skyrim once more. It's such a deep, meaningful rediscovery and renaissance I am having with a game that was released in 2011. 11 was that magnificent once-in-a-lifetime release date opportunity. And I played the game a lot back then. I think I logged about 200 and something hours. Interestingly, my Xbox 360 account, Microsoft, I guess, account, was connected to Steam somehow. And so Steam logged my hours from playing back then. And I got to around level 40. I also started a second profile as well in the game back then. And I thought I'd done a lot. But it turns out I hadn't. And having gone back to the game really since New Year's, thereabouts, and really have been encouraged to go back by my friend Ruth, who on Switch alone has logged more than 500 hours. Might even be more than 600 by now. I guess we'll have to check. She was asking me, "Oh, have you done this? Have you discovered that? Have you been here? Have you been there?" I was like, "No." And then she goes, "Oh, and there's been a massive update as well, because now you can fish, you can have pets, you can have these extra bits and bobs all over the place." Really? Oh, and there's an anniversary pack that's just been released with content from the modding community, which I haven't yet got. Haven't quite got the cash for it just yet, but I'll be downloading that for the Switch soon. And that completely caught me off guard, because my PC version of Skyrim actually is no longer listed on Steam, interestingly. If you go via the game in the library to the Steam store page, it says this game at the request of the publisher or something is no longer listed, because it's no longer the version of Skyrim that they want you to buy. There's the special edition that they released with a graphical upgrade, which it seems my PC version did have a graphical upgrade of some description, but anyway, and that version was accompanied by the anniversary edition, but also has the opportunity to download the anniversary pack for it. So I hadn't seen any of this being released, and I also hadn't seen this had been released therefore either on the Switch version, which I got a few years ago, simply because actually the lock picking with HD Rumble, I just had to give that a go, and it's fantastic. I haven't once upgraded my lockpicking on the skill tree, and I've been able to unlock master locks at like level 50 or something, because you can sort of feel, you actually develop the skill of feeling the lock, as opposed to just sort of picking these arbitrary 10, 11, 12, 3 o'clock sort of positions and trying to home in on with your lockpicks. I'm sure you all remember that and recognise that sort of that frustration of going, where is it? Where's the point? Well, now you can actually sort of feel it on Switch. So I tried it, but I didn't get further than level 14 previously with that particular build. So I decided to dive back in again. I started from scratch, this time as a Khajiit warrior, and and now I'm at level 44, I think, as of this morning, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it for a couple of reasons. First of all, because I'm so familiar with it from back in day. So from back in 2011, when I was living in a flat with my then fiance, trying to find a job, and in between job applications playing on Skyrim, getting lost in this world that at the time I remember saying to the wonderful now Mrs. Soup, "This feels like grown-up Zelda." And really what I meant by that was, this feels like Dungeons and Dragons. At that point I hadn't played D&D yet. So D&D in game form, where the dungeon master is the game, all the stats and the unfolding enemies and so on and so forth, I'll just present it to you. You're adventuring in this world, and it was fantastic. Of course, when Breath of the Wild came about on Switch in particular, that definitely distracted me from playing Skyrim. But I think the two of them actually learned from each other. A few years ago I was very excited that Breath of the Wild was going to be taking notes, as it were, from the Skyrim open world experience, and I feel as though Breath of the Wild has run with some of that stuff. not least interacting with the environment and sound and physics, all this sort of stuff that that goodness that's in Breath of the Wild. But now going back to Skyrim, I love being familiar with the map. I love knowing this place. I like the fact that I'm using fast travel a lot more than I used to. I used to sort of play very sort of, very strictly. I would walk from place to place, partly because I loved the experience of discovery. And I played Breath of the Wild for the first time without fast travel as well. Because that thing of, I want to get over there, and then you get distracted on the way, is kind of cool. But this time on the Switch, I am playing Skyrim with fast travel. But even then, when I appear in a place, I obviously know where I am because I've chosen to go there. But as I'm walking through the landscape, I know if I turn left at this crossroads, it's going to take me to Riften. If I go over there, I'm going to find this canyon-like tomb structure with some monsters at the end. It feels like a world that I've lived in, and I love it. I love that. And the same goes for Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. On Game Boy, it felt like a little world that I was living in. I have the map for the colour version of that game on framed on the wall in the hall, because it feels like a holiday destination or a place that I've spent significant portions of my life in. And Skyrim is the same for me. It feels like a place that I visited before. It feels like a place that I know very well. But even then, I'm still discovering things. And as I say, the fact that my friend just mentioned a couple of little things that could be discovered that I hadn't yet found, really reminded me and enticed me back into that exploration. And also as well the various mechanics that I hadn't really bothered with. So in my first playthrough on the Xbox 360, I basically was just a battle hardened sort of mage, and I am again a battle mage, I think. Heavy armor, one-handed weapon, and lots of magic. I just seem to like that. Next time I might play as light armor archery, although I do like archery as well. I do use archery. Anyway, I'm playing that again, but previously I hadn't really engaged with alchemy, for example. I didn't realise that to start off in alchemy, you actually had to sort of eat all the ingredients. And the thing is, when something says, but when something looks like a poison or looks like something that might be bad for you, and it says eat, feels like something you shouldn't do. And it wasn't again until my friend Ruth said, well, actually, if you eat everything or try everything in your ingredients list, you'll get all the effects at once as soon as you back out, but you're not going to die from it. And then that starts you on the opportunity to sort of create almost like a table of elements by comparing and contrasting effects. So you can have, say, in an ingredients list, 3 things that regenerate your health, add a 4th, and out of that recipe will come probably a health regen potion, but you'll discover what the 4th ingredient, and in fact you'll discover what all the ingredients can also do, because they'll be interacting with each other in new ways. So that's really exciting. Enchanting of weapons and armor, I did a little bit of back in the day, but now I'm really seeing the benefits of that. I had just rushed in on blacksmithing on my first playthrough. It was just make until I could make some proper Daedric and then dragon armor. But now again as well, there's lots of new exciting armors that have been added to Skyrim. The Nordic carved stuff I don't think I'd seen before either. So I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I really am rambling, but I'm loving it. I'm just loving Skyrim. I'm loving being back in that world, and I'm excited as to what I'm going to do next in this game. I get to go and play the Dragonborn DLC. I never played that when it was released. The Dawn Guard, the vampire hunting stuff, I didn't play that when it was released for some reason. I'm building my house now. I did do the Hearthfire DLC, so I do have a house in my first playthrough, but I'm doing that again in a more informed, rounded way, because now I can make use of the ingredients that I'm growing and so on and so forth in new exciting ways. So yeah, a real Skyrim Renaissance, and it's magnificent.
I was planning to let that go. Varnius is a bit jumpy at the best of times. There have been reports of weird happenings near Wolfskull Cave. Travelers disappearing, odd lights. I suspect wild animals, or perhaps bandits. I don't think it's worth our time with the war going on. But if you want to clear out the cave, I'll make sure you're repaid for your work.
I'm also we recently replaced some of the Joycon sticks on my wife's Switch. Her Switch is the special edition Pikachu and Eevee version, with the yellow and the brown Joycon, and it's been very prone to drift. Oddly enough, my pink and green, the sort of neon ones, aren't. They don't drift at all. Previously, we'd fixed her drift with the square of cardboard hack. You can put a bit of square of cardboard underneath the Joy-Con base, and it sort of raises it up, and that fixes the drift somewhat. But it had come back in a big way. And the thing is, she doesn't really tell me. She just sort of puts up with it. But she was trying to play House Flipper, and her camera was just all over the place, and she was like, "This is impossible." I was like, "Arr." So we looked into it, and there's a relatively new solution. A couple of different websites, Nintendo Life, for example, were seemingly quite excited about it. It's a joystick technology that's based on older consoles. I think Sega Saturn even had this technology, and the Gulikit company or Gulikit have released a kit which you can use. Basically, these things that look exactly like and have more or less the same dimensions as the original Joy-Con joysticks, and you just have to replace them. It's a plug and play type thing. The only problem is that the right hand, the yellow Joy-Con on her Switch, the yellow one, whether it's right or left, had an extra tab that I wasn't quite ready for. So it sort of popped out, and I was like, "Where'd that go?" So I had a slight freak out. We managed to get it in there, although I couldn't take a photo of that one open because we needed my hands and Mrs. Soup's hands to hold the thing together, so I could use some tweezers to put the tab back in its slot. But it works. It works really well. I would say that they feel slightly shorter. You can tell that the sticks protrude, maybe less than a millimeter, less high, less proud of the Joy-Con itself when you're trying to use them. But they feel quite good. She is having a fantastic time, not having any drift at all. And for a solution that's, I think it was £38 when she got it off Amazon. She just went, "I'm going mad, I'm going to buy it." It's worked really well. So I would recommend it, actually. If you're not super confident, get a friend who is. It comes with all the stuff that you need, though. The screws, actually, when I say the screws, it comes with screws just in case you're missing screws, because some Joy-Con sometimes are, I've discovered. It comes with the correct screwdrivers, so the three-way screwdriver for actually opening up the thing, and then the mini screwdriver for getting the internal housing away from the different chipsets and the gubbins inside, and also a little bowl to store the screws in. So it's actually a really nice little kit that they've made, and I would recommend it. If you're not super confident, get someone to do it who is. It doesn't take long, and your drift will go away. So there you go. I do feel as though I'm rambling today, and I have a slight nervous energy about me, and that's because my poor dog is not feeling great. It's been about 4 days now of him being very confused and anxious. He's on the downward slope, so he's coming out of it again. He's currently actually genuinely sleeping on the sofa next door. So that's good. But I've basically had almost 5 days of just constantly going, "Where is he? Is he okay?" And when he jumps up and runs around the house or something and pees in random places, or is just shivering. So the other day he just sat on me, just shivering and needed hugs. So that's why I'm sort of woo today. But I just had to talk to you about Skyrim. Having such a great time. Strongly recommend revisiting it if you haven't done it in a while. The graphical update definitely is worth it. The gameplay stuff, the new quests, and just the joy of revisiting a world that you know so well. It's just a delight. So do it. Thank you for watching, guys. Until next time, do take care. Bye bye.